This video is going to be about how I'm gradually going back to the things that have made me happy and only doing the things that make me happy. Um, Recently, I had done two bowling practice sessions. I did one a couple days ago and I did one today, and I was very, very pleased. I was very excited to go back to the lanes and bowling's really one of my biggest passions, one of my favorite sports, and it just felt so good to just get back out there in the lanes again, and just I'm starting to feel like my life is coming back together. I just feel like I'm just getting my life back since now the doctor, my knee surgeon has given me the green light to go back to bowling. And I know focusing on these things that I love doing can help me gradually bury all the stuff that I've already dealt with. It's like more like, I guess it's just my way of just forgiving myself. And I've been reading things about forgiveness, and it's not forgiving them, my narcissistic family. The forgiveness for me is more like letting all the bullshit that's happened to me, all the stuff, now that I've dealt with it, now that I've realized what happened to me, and realized that I was in a narcissistic family, and reading everything and empowering myself, and going through therapy, um, and then just working through some feelings like my anger, um, and now trying to reach the point of just letting all that go away. Just as far as forgiveness, I mean, it's just learning how to just, now I've dealt with it all. Now it's time to let it all go and just say, okay, now it's time for me to get on with my life. It's time for me to, um, like I said, continually work on the things that's gonna make me a better person. But at the same time, too, I gotta go back to some of the things, some of my interests that I have once done and couldn't do because of my knee issues. And now um, I'm just so glad I have hobbies like bowling, and I was so really scared that I was going to be not be able to go back to bowling again. And when the doctor says, "Oh, it's still definitely in your future," yes. So I'm very happy that I can still bowl, and it's still in my future. And I would say if I drop some weight, or uh, once just get the money to sharpen my ice skates, I used to also do figure skating. Now, I never did any of the big jumps like the axles, but I used to do what they call a Walsh jump, which to me is like a half an axle. It's the way I look at it. But I used to do sit spins and all that. Now I said, well, I'm not all in that shape to do it again, but to really strengthen my legs, yes, I would like to go back into figure skating and just do just simple glides across the ice, nothing big, go forwards, go backwards, stuff like that. And, I'll gradually get back into that. But going just to the bowling practices that I've done, the two that I've done has really, really made me feel so good. And just knowing that it's something that I'm very darn good at. I'm very good at it. And I'm very good at figure skating at my age. I'm very good at writing. I'm very good at talking and interacting with people. I'm very good at medical terminology. I'm very good at anatomy and physiology, and I'm very good at being a fast learner of medical conditions. Um, I'm very good at becoming my own patient advocate. I'm very good at knowing all about the workers' comp system. Uh, I'm very good at teaching myself the ICD-9 codes and all what that is. That's just medical coding for like diagnosis, and ICD is just I forgot what ICD means, but it's just a coding system for diagnosis, and it's yeah, I forgot what it means. So, but it's just nothing but codes, diagnosis codes. I mean, like diagnosis codes for diabetes, diagnosis code for osteoarthritis, there's a diagnostic code for pain. There's a diagnostic code for headache. There's a diagnostic code for fracture. There's a diagnostic code for heart disease. So forth and so forth. It's and I taught myself that ICD-10. Even though it's supposed to not go out until October of next year, and I'm already ready for it. But I can always go back and brush back just to kind of keep my mind refreshed. I'm good at medical billing. I'm certified in that. So, those things I have to just keep telling myself, hey, you're good at this. You're good at that. And you know what? If it's one thing I can really claim, that I can do something that not all my former narcissistic family can't ever do. And you know what that is? I know how to drive a stick shift. They can't. So I can do something that they can't do. And, I'm not sticking myself down to their level of being grandiose, but I'm just saying, hey, I can do something that they can't do. Here they all this time have done nothing but try to define who I am and try to say a bunch of, try to define me, as, somebody with not a future, not a chance of becoming a nurse, never will land a job, thinks I have bad hygiene. I mean, really, how can you sit there and say I have bad hygiene if you've never been around me for 13 years? I mean, to me, that's pretty ignorant of my sister. I mean, I call her a big loudmouth. The one that wrote me that letter and sent me that dumbass award diploma. I think that belongs to her, not me, so to speak. Um, but yeah, uh, I'm I'm good at a lot of things, and focusing on those things that I know that I'm good at would really help me let go and just let all that stuff that I've been subjected to behind me. I mean, it's like I've already dealt with it. You know, I'm still working through some feelings. I've gotten through my anger. I've worked through that. So I've really have accomplished that. But I just have to work through some feelings, like I mentioned in the last video, that I still have to work on the feelings of being like excluded and rejected. I mean, like sometimes it don't bother me and sometimes it does. So it's like, well, when I see my therapist tomorrow, I'm gonna be asking her, okay, you need to help me work through these feelings here. And I don't want to ignore my feelings because, like I said, I know as I recover and as time goes on that I will be able to, um, you know, be able to cover more. And also, too, I know there's going to still be some feelings that are going to resurface, and I just need to learn how to deal with them as they come up. Because once I deal with them, then I can just put it behind me, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm still trying to work on the feelings of being compassionate to myself and being that mother that I've always wanted and needed to myself. That there's a working process there. Um, but I'll get there. But now it's just I gotta learn how to work through any feelings that come up as as they resurface, as they come up, because that's gonna be part of me healing, and that's very important. Um, and I think those of you that have reached the stage of where I'm at right now in recovering from a narcissistic mother or narcissistic parents or just an overall narcissistic family, you know, once you deal with everything and you're ready to take the next step of now turning that new leaf, rediscovering yourself, redefining yourself, and rebuilding your confidence, now you can sit here and say, okay, take a good look at yourself and say, well, what am I good at? What can I do better than anyone? But not in a grandiosity of things, but as a way to really lift yourself up, because you need that. And once you know how to lift yourself up, you can lift up others. And once you can lift up others, I mean, it really helps your healing even more, but it all has to start with you. Um, and I'm very happy now that I'm turning over a new leaf and I'm putting all this stuff about the narcissism behind me. And, the more that I can just focus on the things that I'm very darn good at, um, I'll be able to think less and less and less of my former narcissistic family. And like I said, I've learned quite a bit from one of the gentlemen that I have subscribed to. Uh, they call, I guess I've mentioned before in a couple of videos, he calls himself the narcissism survivor, and I've learned a great deal from him. So he and Ollie Matthews were really the true inspiration of why I've done these videos. And now, my oldest daughter, I have inspired her to do a YouTube video of the narcissistic abuse that she went through with my narcissistic mother and my narcissistic sisters, which are her aunts. And I've given her some tips and pointers, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, just to protect herself, you know. And I'm glad that I'm able to empower her to do this. So I really feel like she's really drawn off my strength. And, you know, I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the views of all the videos that you have seen that I've made. And I also, above all else, I really appreciate um, subscribing to me and my videos. And, if what my videos do, if they help you out and empower you, then I've accomplished something, and that's what I really want. It's just not so much to just help myself and get my story out there and, to get it all out on my chest. I mean, yeah, that's maybe a good part of the reason, but not the main reason. I just want to help others and just share with others, hey, I know where you're at. I can relate to everything you say because, hey, here's my story and this is my experience, And maybe some of my experiences can be similar to yours, or maybe some of my experiences might have, maybe some of them may relate to you, and then maybe some you could probably maybe see with other people that you know that are from a narcissistic family or a narcissistic mother or a father or a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, coworker, boss, wherever it stems from. It's like you can kind of maybe relate this, say, hey, you know what Mary's saying? Yeah, I got a friend, that yeah, I remember my friend always talks about this, and it reminds me of one of Mary's videos, and like I said, if my videos help you, I'm very happy. And it makes me feel good inside, and it helps my healing too. And because I like to inspire others, and I hope that that's what my videos are doing for you, is to inspire you and to draw off my strength, because I consider myself a very strong person. And if I remember right, though, I think that there was some videos back where I said I'm not afraid to expose my narcissistic family, and I'm not. And I'm sure if they ever come across this, or any of their friends come across this, you think I'm afraid? Hell no. I'm not afraid. You know? So I consider myself a very, very strong person. And none of those weaklings can't break me down. Not anymore. And, I just really appreciate, really appreciate your views. And don't be afraid to even give me a private message if you don't feel comfortable doing a comment at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to give me a private message, you know, or send me an email at maryallen7079 at yahoo.com if you want to email me, and share with me your story, um, if you just want to you know, ask me certain questions or share with me your story or your testimony, and you just want it private, you don't want the whole world to know, well, hey, you know what, that's fine, that's fine. But anyway, I'll wrap up this video for now. But this video is just kind of just telling you where I'm at, and for those of you that's ready to turn that new leaf, and for those of you that are still going through the healing process, when you get to this point to where I'm at, then and you're ready to turn over that new leaf, then this is how you do it. You think about the things, you take an inventory. It's like, what am I really good at? You really think what you're really good at, because everybody's good at something. I don't care what it is. I mean, some people could be good at humor, some people can be good at writing, somebody can be good at singing, dancing, maybe good at a sport. You know, some the possibilities are endless. So I just tell each and every one of you, don't sell yourself short. You've got to be good at something, you know. And I'm sure there's something in you that is just waiting to come out, and you know you gotta be good at something, and if you're not sure what those are, try out new things, try out new hobbies, if you master it, fine. And if you want to continue to interest, you just keep learning. All I have to say, you just gotta keep learning and learning from your own mistakes if you really want to master something, if it's something you're interested in. Because I don't care what it is, and I don't mean to always bring up bowling, but I'm sorry, it's my favorite sport. But years ago, when I started out bowling, I didn't average no 195 plus. Um, I was more averaging under 100, and then eventually over the low hundreds. And you know, you can't become pro level in a couple of months. I don't care how many practice sessions you have. I don't care how many bowling balls you have. You're not going to average 200 in a month, or a couple months, or 6 months, or a year. It takes time. And really learning, maybe watching some bowling videos, um, watching them following the PBA tour, and watching the professional bowlers, and I could say even go to bowling camps, or even not even just a bowling camp. Get a bowling coach if you're really serious about it, but try to work on your form and technique for a while, and then if you're really serious about it, yeah, get a coach. Because I've been through several coaches in my lifetime, and I've even been in a bowling camp, and so I had to work at where I'm at. I mean, right now I'm not at my 195 plus capability right now. Um, I had to admit that when I practiced a couple days ago for the very first time, and I bowled 4 games, but I took my time and rest in between games. I averaged 147. So it's like, well, I can't expect that much. Number one, I've been out of the bowling circuit for 2 years because of, you know, my knee issue. And then now that I've, you know, my legs have been weakened and I've gained weight and been inactive because of my knee, you know, I can't expect to leave off where I left off at 2 years ago. It's just not going to happen. So it has to come from just uh, losing the weight, eat right, exercise, and work on strengthening my legs so I can strengthen my knee, and followed by a couple bowling practices here and there whenever I can get the money. I can practice, and and I keep working at it, and I'll get back to my 195 plus caliber, maybe even improve even more, maybe even be a 200 plus bowler, and I know I'm very capable of that. So, with anything, you have to work at it. It's just not gonna, the talent and the ability is not gonna fall in your lap. If you want to be good at something, you have to work at it. And then you gotta find the right people to teach you. And when you learn, you gotta have an open mind. But anyway, didn't mean to get on such a big of a soapbox, uh, but don't never sell yourself short. I mean, at some point, you gotta kind of put all that stuff behind you once you deal with everything and work through all those feelings. And once you work through all those feelings of the narcissistic abuse that you had in your life, now at some point, you gotta have had a lot of strength built up within you to say, okay, now I'm ready for my new life. And like I said, you just take an inventory, find what you're good at. If you don't know, take up some new hobbies, you know, get with some friends, and kind of feel things out. Because I tell you, having hobbies of any kind is awesome, and it's so therapeutic, and you can really find yourself in hobbies like that. So right now, I'll end this video for now, and as always, I wish you peace, love, and joy. Take care, and bye for now.